What's up, y'all? Part two of Shoebooty Sports, episode 137 coming at you. You get the rare part two, which we do every so often. Bonus material this week. Lots to talk about. We got the Stanley Cup final happening as we speak. Game five. Looks like Edmonton is going to pull it out. Up 4-3 with less than 2 minutes to play. So we are going to get to see a game six, which I'm excited about. I like playoff hockey, Stanley Cup final in particular. Maybe the Oilers girl putting out video number two maybe gave them a little bit of a spark. We'll talk about that in a little bit. One of my favorite videos on the internet, by the way, the first part anyway. Uh, okay, let's touch back up on basketball first. Let's give a. I know we lost Willie Mays tonight, unfortunately, and we also lost last week Jerry West, the logo for the NBA, uh, legend, Laker legend, known for getting to the finals so many times. I don't remember what his finals record was. It was terrible. But none of those teams were expected to win either. I think they might have been favored in one of them, and they got beat. I think it was one at the end against Bill Russell and the Celtics, if I remember correctly. But he did get a championship as a player. He got one championship as a player, better than zero. But he talked about how much that hurt, and then he went and became one of the greatest GMs the league has ever seen. It's hard to say, hard to say. Or people said like he pulled off one of the greatest trades and going and getting, Shaq and Kobe Bryant, trading to get Kobe Bryant. Pretty great moves. Drafting Derek Fisher, same draft class as Kobe, by the way. But I'd say Red Auerbach probably had the best moves as far as you know, making moves to get Bill Russell, drafting Larry Bird the year before he went, drafting him number one overall the year before he went pro. Like talk about a power move. Uh, but this is about Jerry West, and I mean he put together championship teams with the Lakers, with the Warriors. It probably has made those Memphis teams fun to watch. Those Grizzlies teams fun to watch. Uh, I mean he's the reason Kevin Durant came to Golden State. Kevin Durant, and this is back when I was a reporter and columnist. I wrote a huge column on this move, KD going to Golden State, and gave Jerry West credit for it because he deserved it. Because Kevin Durant was on the fence about going to Golden State, and then he spoke with Jerry West, and Jerry West told him about all the times he had gotten to the finals and came up short because his teams really just weren't good enough, and how much it haunted him. And Kevin Durant was obsessed with winning a championship prior to getting to Golden State, and it would have never happened in Oklahoma City. It just wouldn't. And Jerry West convinced him to join, to create a super team with the Warriors. Got two NBA championships out of it, and so it's hard to say. I mean, yeah, Jerry West was a great player, but he was an even greater GM. He just had a huge impact on basketball, every way, shape, and form, and never really asked for credit for it. Just didn't want anything to do with that. Just wanted to do his job, and I mean, think about that career, man. To be like really like the first great Laker, right? To win a championship with the Lakers as a player, to win more with the Lakers as a GM, and then with the Warriors, and to be the logo of the league. Of course, David Stern said forever. That's not Jerry West. But then they showed like a side by side of that picture and the logo itself, and like, yes, that's clearly Jerry West. Talk about a career, man. Championships as a player, even more as a GM, and you're the logo of the league. So big respect where it's due for Jerry West, the logo. Rest in peace, my guy. Hell of a life. All right. Is it over, by the way, Stanley Cup Final? Is it officially over?
I think they're still playing. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, Edmonton just scored another goal, so
Okay, now it's not over, but it's might as well be
it's
at this point.
it's over. There's 18 seconds left. Florida pulled their goalie so they could have a 6-on-5, but they scored on the empty net
So we're gonna see game six. And then Edmonton, game
in
six.
Edmonton. Yep.
Okay. I- I'll do everything I can to see it. It's gonna be a busy week, so we'll see. But Stanley Cup final, man. Good stuff. All right, let's there was another pretty important sporting event going on over the weekend. I got to catch some of it Sunday, and Rory was in the lead at that point when I was watching the US Open. So we're gonna have golf with Brad. Uh, I saw Rory in the lead toward the end, and I stepped back inside and continued hanging out with my family in Hot Springs. And then I find out I might have gotten an alert on my phone. I think that's how I found out Bryson DeChambeau is your U.S. Open champion of 2024. He's quickly
Yep.
becoming the people's champion. Bryson, quite the transition from what we were saying about him on this show a couple of years ago. So
Yep.
let's have golf with Brad now. Brad, give us a well, this is part two. We got all the time we want. Give us a rundown of the US Open.
Well, as I said last week, touched on last week, said that Pinehurst #2 was going to be a very tricky course. You're going to see these professionals look like mortals out there. You're going to see them hitting it from one side of the green to the other and struggling to make putts, and that's exactly what happened. Thursday, I believe the leader was at -6, and that number never really went up or down in it, but it changed hands. I think Thursday was the time to make the lowest score, but a lot of people couldn't keep it up. Um, they were the greens were deadly fast. I don't know if you got to see any of that. Rory hit one like dead center, just dropped it out of the sky, and it ended up rolling off the back of the green, which is it's almost sickening. It's unfair, but that's
It is.
that's the way they made it to play. I mean, they made it to be a true test, but yeah, going into Sunday, you had the two top groups were Bryson and the Frenchman, Pavon, or I believe that's how you say his name. Then you had McElroy and Cantley. Uh, Pavon, he kind of got off to a rough start and was kind of out of it in the first couple of holes. Bryson, he was kind of steady Eddie. Then he'd drop a shot. Um, but yeah,
Hang on.
Rory,
Did
he
you say
he started
steady? Hang on. Did you say steady Yeti?
steady Eddie.
Steady Yeti. Okay, I thought you said Yeti, as in like the. That's a terrible
Yeah,
Yeti.
maybe you could probably start saying that. I don't know, but
Oh, steady
Rory, yeah. I
Yeti.
mean, Bryson had a 3-shot lead going into Sunday. He could have had a 5-shot lead going into Sunday, but he did have a double bogey on the back nine on Saturday. But yeah, Rory started off at -4 and played out of his mind up until the 14th hole. He was draining long putts, had ridiculous wedge game. Um, and yeah, I'm sure everybody knows by now he bogeyed 3 of the last 4 holes and lost by a stroke. Bryson, man, it was nerve wracking to watch him. I was rooting for both him and Rory, but Bryson, man, he had no fear. He just kept pulling out that driver uh, anytime he could. Pleasing the crowd, watching him hit bombs. Well, he wasn't exactly landing in the fairway, and he didn't land in the fairway a lot. So he had a lot of shots from that sandy, wiry grass area, um, and he pulled it together. I mean, he pulled it out. He made the shots he needed to. But yeah, Rory, it's heartbreaking to watch him lose the way that he did. Like I said, he was playing out of his mind up until the 14th hole. And two of the bogeys, man, I don't even know if two of those putts equaled 6 feet. I mean, he missed one that was like 2.5 feet, and the next one he missed was like another 2.5 feet. I mean, it was brutal. His putt on 18, whenever they're showing the overshot from down below the green, I knew it was going to be tricky. It was a downhill putt. You knew that it was going to go from left to right. Even the announcers were saying, "Oh, this should be, left center of the cup, and whatnot." Rory even put it, I mean, hell, he had it a ball outside on the left of the cup, and it still broke and missed on the right. Yeah, it's heartbreaking to watch him lose like that. But on the other hand, Bryson, man, he pulled it out. He hit a tee shot over there by the grandstands on 18 and was up against a root and some wiregrass. I mean, his ball was maybe a half an inch off a root. He couldn't do anything except for punch it out. He punched it out and landed in that greenside bunker. And then he makes the bunker shot of his life, or most people's lives, and puts it within 4 feet. I mean,
People have talked nonstop about the bunker shot.
oh, I would either completely duffed it or sent it into the clubhouse. Like, with that much adrenaline going, there's no telling what's going to happen. But
Well,
you
it's
could say
big
that
bucks.
Rory lost it.
That was my
But you could,
question. Hang on. I mean, did Rory lose it or did Bryson win
a combination of both.
That's kind of my
It,
view on it.
yeah, I mean, Bryson, he bogeyed one or two coming down the stretch as well. But Rory, I mean, he had it. He had it there, and
then had to watch just watch the Bryson win it. Just had to watch there in the wherever they
oh,
watch it.
he knew it was over whenever he landed it 4 feet from the pin, and he had an uphill putt, because uphill putts are not going to break as much as a downhill putt. Yeah, it's a combination of both. Rory, he's done what we've seen him do over the past couple of years. He's collapsed, he's choked, he's done whatever you want to call it. Bryson, he also kind of won it, man. He could have lost it. I mean, he lost, he made a bogey down the stretch, and he had some rough tee shots. Man, he had every opportunity to let that slip from his hands and to pull it out the way that he did on 18, to chip it out of some of the worst conditions, over there by the grandstands, and to make the bunker shot. You can't just say that McIlroy lost it. I mean, Bryson won it, and he won it in a very different fashion than what we've seen people do in the past. He played up to the crowd every time he got the chance for the whole weekend. I mean, he was wanting them to make noise. He did not shy away from pulling out the driver, even though that, it'd be safer if he hit a 3-wood. He knew that everybody was there to watch him hit the long ball. And he even apologized on Saturday whenever he hit a 3-wood on a par 4. He apologized. He said, "I'm not going to hit the driver," sadly. Hell, after
That's my dude. He has quickly become like my dude.
yeah, after the trophy ceremony, he walked through the crowd and let the fans touch the trophy. And then he went back to the Airbnb neighborhood that he was staying in, and partied it up with the people on the street with the cup. I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Nobody's really done it the way he did it this week. And it's a shame that he's not eligible to be on the Olympic team, because he does not have the enough official world golf rankings points. I mean, he's only played in 3 PGA events because of the majors. He's done better than anybody, even Scotty. He placed 6th at the Masters, placed 2nd at the PGA Championship, and then won the U.S. Open. He's played better in all of them.
He may be missing the
And
Olympics, but he's the people's champion right now and the
he's a
U.S.
people's
Open
chance. But
champion. And that's all it means
this
in my eyes.
hopefully, yeah, hopefully this speeds up the conversation of getting these two leagues back together. Live has done what it set out to do. It's gotten players more money. I mean, look at the PGA there. They went from winning, 1.5 to maybe $2 million, for winning an event or a major. And Bryson, I think he cleared a little bit over 4 million just for the US Open. So Live has done what they set out to do, get players more money, but their business model is pretty bad. They've got a product that nobody watches. Um, they both sides need each other is what I'm trying to say. And hopefully this speeds up the negotiations to get them back together. But I'm not going to hold my breath. But yeah, it's a shame that he's not eligible to be on the Olympic team whenever he definitely should be. But yeah, it was a rough weekend out there, man. You had a lot of big names not make the cut. I mean, Tiger, of course. You had Phil.
Yeah, that's not a surprise at this point in their
Not a surprise. Phil, I was surprised at how bad he shot. Tiger just couldn't make a putt. He actually hit the ball really well. Um, you had Max Homa, fan favorite. He didn't make the cut. Fowler, always a fan favorite. He didn't make the cut. Um, heck, Scheffler about didn't make the cut. He was projected at one point not to make the cut. A guy that usually, I think he averages like 5 birdies around. So 5 birdies every 18 holes. He had 4 out of 4 rounds, which is ridiculous.
let's go back to Bryson. My favorite shot. I mean, there's the bunker shot, but my favorite shot of the whole event was him going to that one that nobody tries to hit over the water onto the green, and he did it. And then the fans. Do you know what shot I'm talking about? The fans went just nuts when he hit that ball from the tee over nothing but water, and then it landing on the other side, and then there's the fans going crazy about that. Do you know what I'm talking about? You have a
Was it in
look
the
on your
US
face like you don't.
was it in the US Open or is this just a past shot?
This was the U.S. Open. I mean, this was flip all over the internet.
So uh, yeah, I'm sure I watched it. I just don't remember it.
That was my favorite shot. Now, granted, I didn't watch until Sunday, but I saw everything in clips. I don't. I the only guy I have ever watched with golf has been Tiger, and when he started to go downhill, I mean, I just stopped tuning in. Um, but a guy like Bryson makes me want to tune in. It makes me the very casual golf fan want to tune in. So this is exciting for someone like myself to see.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, okay. How did he become? Because he wasn't like this, right? He wasn't popular like this in the beginning. It
No.
was a couple of years ago for
He
sure. So what happened? What was the transition that flipped us? At least it might have been gradual, but in my view,
he
just the switch got flipped.
yeah, he's kind of had not really a bad reputation, but a nerdy reputation. I mean, it was not hard or it was easy not to like him, we'll say. He was called the mad scientist. He was always going into way too much detail on how he thought the game should be played. He's weird. He has all these clubs are one length, just different lofts, which is weird as hell. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, some people are trying it. I mean, he's got his long ass putter that he locks into his arm and looks goofy as hell putting. But I think the major thing was him going over to Live and being a part of his team. And from what he said, they made him come out of his shell. I mean, and then He's had a lot of following on social media. He does a lot of YouTube videos to where he'll go out and play 9 holes with a youth set, or clubs that a club set that only has like 4 clubs in it, or he'll go out and play with a left-handed set, or just do just do odd stuff. He I think what I seen today is that he gained 25,000 X followers following Sunday.
Me
How
being one.
many? Yeah, 25,000. 70,000 on Instagram, and I want to say about the same for YouTube subscribers. I mean, he steadily pumps out YouTube content.
Well, he's
One of my
he's entertaining as hell, and that's what I
yeah,
want. I want a golfer that's going to not be so stoic, have some personality about him.
yeah,
I mean, see him partying with the cup, drinking booze out of it and stuff after. Yeah, dude,
I,
golf has always been so uptight to me. And then so
yeah,
when you see the Happy Gilmore movie back in the day, that's what made it so fun. It's like this guy who's just a rebel on the course, just living it up, having fun, making a party out of it. And Bryson kind of has that vibe to an extent. I mean, of course, it's not
he-
turned up to 20 like in a satirical movie, but it's the guy's fun. He's entertaining, and he can play. And so that combination gets me excited, just as the casual fan.
I mean, he's always done stuff a little off, not traditionally, but I think as of a couple of years ago, he was just trying too hard. Um, and now he's just not. He's playing loose, being himself, and yeah, it's pretty dang entertaining.
He's having fun. He's definitely having fun. And as a result, we're having fun, the viewers. It's very fun to see, and cool to see this transition, to go from guy that you talked about very poorly a couple of years ago, just as far as like him, the guy, just not being likable. That is not his
Yep.
game, just not being likable. And uh, this is really the first I paid attention to him, but I don't know. I'm sold on the dude. I'm a
Yeah.
fan. Sounds like you've become that
Yeah.
way.
Nobody's more surprised than me, man. 2024, man. It's the year of Bryson. Even though
Absolutely.
Scotty's won a lot, it's the year of Bryson.
Scotty's the guy, but Bryson's the people's champion,
Yeah.
and
Scotty's yeah,
that's the spot I
Scotty's
want.
straight laced. Yeah, yeah, he's not Bryson.
Yeah,
Anywhere
we
near.
talked about Scotty and being a good dad, a first time dad, and all this stuff. I mean, the only controversial thing he did was the arrest, and that wasn't on him. That was just the incompetency of the Louisville Police Department.
Yeah.
Nothing eye popping. He's just a great golfer. Bryson's got personality and just a vibe to him that I dig, and I want to tune in to see. So Graham is going to be watching more golf in the future as long as Bryson's a part of it, as far as I'm concerned. He's made a fan out of me, so I'm looking forward to it. All right, so okay, let's talk about Rory just getting in his car and pulling out as media is wanting to ask him questions. What do you think? He's crushed. He's crushed. He's pissed off. He doesn't. He's like, I can't do this right now. Clearly, and then just leaves. But okay, what are your thoughts on that? Just how he handled that, and then I'll give you mine.
Uh I could I mean, I get it. I know why he left. I didn't
We all know,
like
we all get it.
yeah,
But what's your opinion like just on it, on how he handled?
I didn't like it. I think he could have at least waited 5 minutes and shook Bryson's hand whenever he came in to turn in his scorecard and then left. Um I completely get not responding to any media questions or anything, going out to the car. I believe some of the video that was shown is a little sped up with him leaving the parking lot. But So I think somebody even added some tire squealing to that. But yeah, I mean, the word is that he was already up in the air not even an hour after Bryson made that putt. So he just straight left out and got on the plane. And now he said he's taking a couple of weeks off to regroup.
I mean, that's fine if you want to do that, but he hasn't won a. I mean, he was kind of supposed to be the
10
next
years.
thing 10 years ago. That was his last major was what 10 years ago,
10 years.
and
And
now he's
he's been
chasing like
close some.
yeah, absolutely, and I know he's chasing that grand slam, of winning all four majors, but I mean, it's been 10 years since he's won a major. He was very close Sunday. But here's the thing, though, and granted, I'm an ex-journalist myself, so but you could say it's a little biased, but I think it's just the right thing to do. I mean, you're the pro. Um, you stay and you answer the tough questions. You stay
Usually,
when things go
yeah.
well, but you stay when you stay when things don't go well, and you answer the tough questions. The guy in the probably my favorite World Series I ever watched, ever. Well, no, that's not true. 2011 St. Louis Cardinals. Just because like my team, like they finally won a World Series in my lifetime. Well, they did that in 2006, but 2011, my favorite World Series ever. But right behind that was the 92 or 93 World Series with the Toronto Blue Jays. Um, I believe they beat Philadelphia. I believe they beat the Phillies. Joe Carter hits the walk-off homer in Game 6, I believe it was, to win it for Toronto. That was my favorite World Series, definitely as a kid. I remember watching that game uh, at Jack and Jan's house living room in Furlough, watching that game. I mean, I remember it like it was last month. That's how vividly I remember it. But the point is, that pitcher that gave up that iconic home run sat in his locker after the game and fielded every question from the media. Every tough question, answered it. Bill Buckner, know that name?
Oh, yeah.
The guy that let the ball go through his legs in the, 86 World Series? Is that it? Red Sox had it won. We're
I
going to
believe so, yeah.
Yeah, let the ball roll through his legs on a routine
Right through
grounder
his
at first
legs.
base, and it was all downhill from there. Red Sox lose the World Series. After that game, which is way worse than what the Phillies pitcher did,
Yeah.
Bill Buckner sat at his locker and answered every question, every tough question. I know it was a bad day for Rory, but a bad ending, but you do your job. That's part of it.
Yeah.
It's
Part
not
of
just
it.
ball. That's part of your job. That's part of being a professional. You stay and you answer the tough questions. You're going to stay and answer the easy ones, the softballs, the fun ones,
Yeah.
celebratory ones. You stay and you answer the tough ones too. That's just
Yeah.
my view on it. And I
Yeah.
think it's the correct view.
98% of the time, they're going to stay and answer the questions. They're going to fill them all. But yeah, it's definitely a bad look for Rory, especially take the last major, for instance. Who comes in second? Bryson. Who's the first person to meet Shoffley when he walks off the green? Bryson. Bryson congratulates him, big handshake, hug with a smile on his face, and then, of course, does all the media circus afterwards. Rory, yeah, he got his heart ripped out, and yeah, it's been a while, but that's a bad look, man. I think he lost. I think he lost some fans for sure.
Myself included. I mean, I won't hold it against him forever, but I won't forget that. I mean, it's a bad look, like you said. It's not professional. It's unprofessional. Um, it's kind of childish. I almost compare it to being in Little League and losing a game and
Yeah.
just storming off the field and
Yep.
crying.
Yep.
Like it's By Little League, yeah, I mean like T-ball level.
Yep.
It was to me the adult equivalent to that. It was a bad look. It was unprofessional, and yeah, I just didn't like it. All right, so anything to add before we move on and close the show? The two-parter this week, y'all.
It's that Bryson should really be on that Olympic team, man.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I would tune into the golf portion of the Olympics if Bryson was there, but I do look forward to the Olympics. That is something that I do look forward to talking about in August, I believe is when it starts. We're getting closer. We're mid-June, past mid-June at this point. So, but that's later on. Okay. So the Stanley Cup final, what was the final score? Did you see it? Was it 5-3?
5-3.
Okay, so
I think
we
game 6 is Friday, Thursday or Friday. I think Friday.
okay. I hope Friday. I could probably actually watch it Friday. All right, so the Oilers girl had her, and for those of you who don't know who the Oilers girl is, in the conference final, she's pretty good looking cougar, I'd say, level age, at 40s, I'd say. Just had fun, got caught up in the moment, then just flashed the crowd. It got caught on video. It went viral, and she got kind of a lot of credit for just the Oilers, momentum train. And she put out a response video like a day or two ago, just basically saying, "Yeah, I got drunk and I flashed my boobs at a hockey game." I think she said tits, but it was trying to keep it PG on this show, and yet we're talking about this. But it was a funny clip, and who doesn't like boobs? Love boobs, by the way. But yeah, it was seeing her response video was just kind of comical to me. She's like, "I came out here to this place. For those of you that know where I'm at. It's where I like to come and think." I just thought it was a funny video, and she was still in she was in like the same gear to let us know that she's the Oilers girl.
Yep.
So maybe that video was another spark for the Edmonton Oilers, the storied franchise of the NHL, to maybe rally a comeback. I don't see that. I see Florida getting it done probably in the next game. I had Florida winning in 6. No. I said 7. Yeah, I had Florida winning it in 7. I'll stick to that because Stanley Cup Finals are always just entertaining.
Yeah.
But if they get to a game 7, pressure is going to be all on Florida.
Yeah. Oilers might have figured something out. I mean, they won game 4 8-1 and won tonight 5-3. So it's a pretty big difference. But yeah, they don't have the depth that Florida does, but maybe they figured something out that can put them over the top.
I would say Florida's better on paper, but we haven't seen Florida have a Florida Panthers girl. The Edmonton Oilers have their mascot at least right now, and it's the Oilers girl. So she might have been the catalyst to spark this momentum shift. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we will talk more about it next week for sure. All right, let's close the show just on some news. Okay, the Birmingham Stallions. They won the 2024 UFL championship over the weekend. They beat the San Antonio Brahmas 25-0. So not much of a game. Not sure how you get 25. Haven't watched any UFL action this year. I know they got special 2-point plays and things like that.
Yeah.
I believe Tom Brady was in the booth, though. I believe he
I
was in
did
the
see
booth.
that. Yeah.
That's all I saw of the game.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
to
it.
be fair, I didn't watch any TV this week. I was, like I said, in Hot Springs all weekend. I had to go to bed early Friday night because I had to get up at 5 a.m. the next day. So I didn't watch any TV. I came home and I watched House of Dragon Sunday night, and I finished up season 1 last night. Highly recommend, by the way. House of Dragon was awesome. Look forward to checking out season 2. Probably won't do it tonight. I say that. I'll probably go in there and start season 1, or excuse me, episode 1 of season 2. Awesome show. Love it because if you know anything about Game of Thrones, this isn't a spoiler at this point. If you haven't seen the show, it's a little bit on you. But it takes really like what 3 seasons to see a dragon at its when it's formidable.
Yeah.
And House of Dragon, you're 5 seconds into the show and you see just a big, awesome, badass dragon doing dragon stuff. They don't waste any time. It's like they're just letting you know, like, hey, we're not messing around. Like you're going to see it from the start. I mean, it is in the name, House of Dragons. Kind of have to start with a bang like that. I'm jumping off topic now, but a quick House of Dragon plug. So yeah, US or U. I want to say USFL, UFL season over. And it's kind of weird. You look at their website; it says so and so player signs with the they're kind of embracing that. Hey, our players are so good. Some of them are going to the NFL. I respect that. I don't know if the league will stay afloat. I don't know if it's spring football's here to stay, as The Rock indicates, but this season wrapped up with the Birmingham Stallions winning it all. Okay, who do we have before we get out of here? Who would be your pick right now to win to win the College World Series?
I believe that Tennessee's going to break the #1 curse and win it all this year.
They look like the favorite. I saw Florida State won tonight, beating North Carolina in an elimination game. I don't know who all is left, but Tennessee's got to be the favorite, I would think, at this point. They're the best team left. I'd kind of hate it being an Arkansas alum and just what I think of Vitelli. Just like I said, being a Dave Van Horn guy, I got to go with DVH and not like Tony Vitelli. I think I'm saying his name right. But he does put together really good teams. They're not all likable, but they are very talented teams, and they often know it. And so I kind of hate to see what that does to his and their ego if they actually finish it up and get a chip. But that would be my favorite right now to win at Tennessee. And we're going to get out of here on this. Guess who's finally over 500 for the first time this season? I believe it's the first time, at least since like 3 games in. My St. Louis Cardinals are finally over the 500 mark as we get close to the All-Star break. Cardinals have won 7 of their last 10 games. They had like a 6-game winning streak there for a bit or over this stretch. They are 36-35 overall, so officially over 500. And they are sitting at second place in the Central behind, of course, the Milwaukee Brewers, my preseason pick to win the Central, as they should. They're the best team in that division. But Cardinals 5.5 games back, and the Chicago Cubs are in last place in the Central.
They really stink.
39. Say that again.
So they really stink.
Yeah. Well, so in other words, all is almost right in the world. Cardinals are close to the top of the division, should be at the top, but they are close to it, and the Chicago Cubs are at the very bottom. So things are where they should be almost. So on that note, we're going to get out of here. Hope y'all enjoy these part 1 and 2 of this week's episode. We'll be back next week, same day and time. Until then, this is Graham Powell.
The Brown.
Deuces, y'all.
Peace.